The internet has become a way of life for all of us. We use it every day, sometimes all day long. But virtually every website you visit has a privacy policy, a legal agreement you enter every time you use the site, covering how they can and cannot use your personal information. Here with everything you need to know to protect yourself is everyone's favorite lawyer, Shari Olefson. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me again.
So what exactly do these websites know about us that's private, and what do we need to be concerned about?
Sure. Well, last week, of course, we talked about the terms of use and why you might want to, if you're buying a product online, you might want to pick up the phone and call rather than use the internet and become subject to the terms of use. This is the privacy agreement, and when you click, you're agreeing to that. And they're basically collecting two types of information from you. The first is personal information, Roxanne, and that's what happens if you register. You enter your name and your email and things like that. The second is computer tracking information, which you think could be actually even more dangerous to be aware of. The privacy information, it's, the personal information, it's a matter of who they're sharing it with, but this computer tracking information, it's a matter of how you're using it. And they use all kinds of technology like web beacons and embedded scripts or cookies that you've heard of. There's session cookies, which expire when you leave, but there's persistent cookies that stay on your computer forever. And that tells the advertisers and website owners where you're going, what pages you're looking at, how long you're looking at them, when you open their emails, all kinds of things like that that you just want to be aware is being shared.
Well, then what do they do with that personal information?
Well, that's a great question. And the advertisers will say that they use it to enhance your experience. So if you are going to a travel site, for example, looking at travel information, they'll enhance it by having maybe airline ads appear on that site. Of course, the flip side of that is that we need to be aware of it because they're also using it to sell us products and services, and they're also sharing it with other companies. So every time you click on a banner ad, every time you enter a contest, be aware of the fact that your information is now being shared with that provider or sponsor.
Can any of this be harmful to us as the consumer or as the person cruising the computer and online?
Well, here's the thing, and we talk a lot about encouraging folks to really get ahead and prosper. And this basically becomes a shopping extravaganza, and you don't know you're getting bombarded with these constant temptations to buy. So one of the things that I suggest people do to protect themselves is set up a separate email address and use it anytime you register or access any of this information, so you know emails going there are from this type of source and being targeted at you. Also, for sites that you use often, you should look at the privacy policy or at least download a copy, so eBay or Amazon or iTunes, so you know how your information is being shared. And there's some great ways, if you're concerned, that you can be aware of what's being shared and opt out. So your browser, for example, Internet Explorer, has very easy to use privacy settings. There are also some great online opportunities. For example, networkadvertising.org or youradchoice.com are places you can go to learn more about this and learn more about tools that you can use to protect yourself.
Wow, a lot of information, and I think it's piqued the interest of a lot of people to look into things before we just start.
That's the point, is, we live in the world is not perfect, but just be aware that this is what's going on, maybe without you knowing it.
Thanks, Shari, for the tips and the info. Now back to the news desk.